That is right, everybody. Good afternoon. Yes, we're in the afternoon time here for another episode of Psycho's Platters. Always powered by coffee each and every time. That's a mighty Psycho promise. Uh, Good morning, Brandon. Because it's 6:20 in the morning over there. And thank you, by the way, for the dono that you threw. I saw it and commented on the previous video. Thank you very much. I know that today it's a little earlier because um, I'm going to be busy later, but I thought just maybe we would have this and have a little fun as we're going along, or at least as possible. Who knows? Who knows? I did not alert any of the VC Justice League. Hopefully, maybe some of them will show up, and maybe we can have them on as well. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm a little under the weather, guys. I kind of woke up. I woke up this morning with kind of the congestion and the and I'm like, great. I've tried to hold off on getting anything for quite a while. Actually, I was kind of amazed, but yeah, I think I'm starting to come down with something, unfortunately. So um, probably looking at, like I said, about a 60 minute show, probably more than 90-minute show. I'm just on my way to work, but still listening all the way in Australia. Well, that's good. That's good. Be careful. Be safe. That's important there. That's important. Hopefully, uh, everybody that is watching this now or on the replay, hopefully everything's going good for you guys. We hovered around 70 degrees today. Um, it was supposed to be partly cloudy, but it ended up being sunny like about, oh, I don't know, maybe about 2 hours ago, a little more than that. So we're doing all right on that one too. But needless to say, excuse me, so I may not be exactly up to par today, but we're going to do the best we can with what we got. Um, so, commercial. Here's a quick commercial. Um, I don't know. I posted last night the brand new episode of Jukebox from Hell. That's right. And what we ended up doing for Jukebox from Hell was we covered this November 2006, this One with Everything, Sticks with the Contemporary Youth Orchestra, um, which it's near Cleveland. Interesting little thing here. Mine's a promo copy. They only sold about 10,000 copies of this thing, and I understand why. I'm just going to leave you with that for the surprise. I think we've got the explanation as to why only 10,000 copies got sold on that one. Mr. Nolan says, in that case, good morning, Brandon. Yes, yes, yes. Um, Speaking of Sticks, I heard that there's a new album coming out between now and the end of the year. And I am relishing that. I am looking forward to it. You see, I've been a Styx fan. Let me think about this a minute. God, I'd probably say the first album I probably bought was Grand Illusion. Okay. Um, but, you know, after going through the catalog, I love those wooden nickel label era, the what we would call the OG era of Styx. Okay. All the way up to and including Equinox. Equinox was a hell of an album. And I mean, if it wasn't for John Kurlowski leaving the band suddenly, unfortunately, Tommy Shaw, from at that time, he was in a band in Chicagoland called MS Funk, which MS Funk lasted a very long time before and after Tommy's departure from that band to join Styx. Now, I don't know personally how you feel about some of their material. I do think that the ballads get a little bit too much. Excuse me, too much. For some reason, I've never been able to. I never. I, I just don't like Babe. Okay, I never did. I don't know why. I think Cornerstone, personally, is probably an album that I just can't seem to get behind. And just a little bit of Crystal Ball, not too much. But like I said, I like the Wooden Nickel stuff. I like Equinox. I like Grand Illusion, Pieces of Eight, um, Paradise Theater. And yes, I bought Kilroy when it came out in '83. I was almost 16. I didn't mind Mr. Roboto. I know that's the song that seems to split all the Styx fans. Is like, "Ew, you like Mr. Roboto?" Well, yeah, I did. I got the concept. I understood the story. Should it have been put out that way? Probably not. That's what actually killed the band. Was Dennis's concept. Nobody else wanted to get behind it. It was. I know people that actually went to the Styx shows in '83, and saying that them acting out on stage, I'm like, nah, I couldn't have settled for that. That would have drove me nuts. Being a 16, 17-year-old kid. My weekend is going to be filled with live albums. Gentle Giant just put out the remix of Playing the Fool. I picked up the triple album. Now I'll have to throw the Styx live one on as well. Yeah, probably the better one, I would say, would be Caught in the Act from '84. But of course, you're going to get another surprise if you play that one. As Great as Tommy Shaw and John K. did. Yeah, exactly. And remember, don't sit down on the plexiglass toilet. That's always going to be a phrase around here. Um, but, so if you play Caught in the Act, then you get to listen to the Squeaking the Top 40 hit Music Time. That music video is just so stupid. Oh my God. The whole thing is, but that was a Kilroy outtake. Okay. I'm so glad that they didn't put that on Kilroy, because I would have killed it. Another excuse. Kilroy was here and he stole my gum. That gum stealing son of a bitch. Yep. Yeah, you betcha. But that's the thing. So I'm going to be looking forward to their new record, and hopefully, because when The Mission came out and when Crash of the Crown came out, The Mission, to me, was a lot more of a proggy return, and I was like, oh, this band does have it in them, because I was beginning to wonder. I have a copy of Cyclorama, oh boy, which may or may not end up in Jukebox from Hell in the future. It is the only Styx autographed CD I have, is that lineup that was on Cyclorama, which included Glenn Burtnick, who he had a solo career. He also was in Styx back in around, what was about 89 to 92. Excuse me. And even he was in that lineup. But I have it. They went and did a CD signing about an hour away, but I couldn't get there. So because I worked at a certain chain, I called and I said, hey, could you get a couple copies autographed? And then I will, put them in the raffle. I wasn't planning on getting it. I was trying to be nice, and we were gonna, with a buck a chance or some shit. Well, they did. They sent me up 2 copies. I was very nice of them. Well, management didn't do squat about it. They did the other things when I got the signed Bears football, and we did that, and we got some decent money out of that, for Children's Miracle. But those Styx CDs were sitting in that office for probably close to a year. One day, I go and they're gone, to discover somebody put them out for sale. So I bought one. That's how I got my Styx autographs. So can't complain too much there. But to me, Cyclorama was not one of my favorites. Yeah, you can't even see that song on the actual record. It is 3. Well, it was 327, Rudy. That's right. George, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest Four Seasons fans that I have ever known. And he does great with what he does. Mr. Farley, always glad to see you here. Always glad to see you. Now it says, hey, George. Hey, you folks. Show me the way. Yes, that is a really good song off of Edge of the Century, which, believe it or not, was on vinyl, but I have never come across a copy. I think, if I remember right, it's probably a record club edition. That's probably the only way you could have got it back in '90. And then they actually were ready to make another record. Excuse me. They were getting ready to make another record, for '92. That lineup was going to put out another album. And they had a handful of demos, and they went to A&M, and they had to wait. The gentleman, the executive, so they did a little desk snooping to discover that their termination contract, they were being terminated from A&M. So for the home that they had since 1975. And in '92, they were, for a little while, at least until the greatest hits, with the lady '95 version. Will you be going live tonight, Michael? Hopefully so. Have you done a Juicebox from Hell on the Queen album Hot Space? I actually am planning on doing that once I acquire a copy. I had one on CD. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm going to have to research and hunt down for one of those. But yes, that's one that I definitely would be doing a Jukebox from Hell on. In case you're wondering, and you haven't seen the video yet for the Styx Cleveland Orchestra, the next Jukebox from Hell is going to be from June '94. Cheap Tricks Woke Up with a Monster. That's right. And, hell of a record. It is a hell of a record, okay? Here's the front. Here's the back. And no, this is not an original, okay? They reissued this little baby. I got a good deal on it, too. It was like 60% off. And I was like, you betcha. But, you got things like, of course, Woke Up with a Monster, My Gang, Girlfriends, Let Her Go, Love Me for a Minute, produced by Ted Templeman, of course, from Van Halen production fame, Doobie Brother production fame. This should have worked. They were signed to a 10-album deal. 10 albums. Okay? And this is the only thing that comes out from on Warner Brothers. And I know I'm kind of doing this a bit early, but let me show you the inside of this little thing. You got, of course, some pictures. And then this, of course, was back when Rick Nielsen was wearing the Rasputin beard, And that's your Warner Brother. That's what you'd be looking like anyway for the time. But that'll be that'll be episode 60 of Jukebox from Hell. And then after that, I'm going to take a few weeks off, I think. Hang on a second. Jeez. I'm going to take a few weeks off from doing that, just to give myself a break, and I'll try to gather up some more episodes. I've got a couple in my head, and a couple in the collection. Oops, sorry. Hey, would you guys don't disappear, the 10 of you that are in here. I'm going to get some more coffee, and I'll be right back, and we'll start explaining some of the title of today's show. Makes sense? I think it does. Be right back. Don't go nowhere. Thanks, you all stuck around. I appreciate that. You don't know how much I appreciate that. Brandon says, Hot Space is in my top 5 Queen albums. People write it off, but I really question if they actually listen to it or listen to what the critics said about it. Yeah, and I mean, I remember I didn't buy that album back in, what was it, 80, 81, 82? Because that was the last album for Elektra. I think wasn't Under Pressure on that album too, on top of the Greatest Hits. So maybe it was afterwards, after the Greatest Hits, which of course sold a shit ton of albums. Speaking of Queen, I learned an interesting fact today that I did not know about. Okay, you Queen fans are going to probably go, well, duh, psycho, but I didn't know this fact. So, how does Brian May get that guitar sound that he gets? Well, he uses banjo strings. Yes, he uses banjo strings because they're a little lighter. He can bend those strings, and that's how he gets the Brian May Queen sound, is banjo strings. I never would have thought about that. But then again, I'm not a musician. I tried. That did not work very well. We won't even talk about that. But yeah, so banjo strings. But yeah, Hot Space, I don't recall even buying that thing when it came out. And like I said, I'm gonna have to play the whole thing. But I mean, other than Under Pressure, and I liked Calling All Girls. I thought that was one of my favorites. You know, I saw that on MTV. They played that video back then. Oh, okay. It was released in 82. Yeah, Under Pressure is the last song on side B. Well, that's a good way to end the record, really, especially with the piano and then the part. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. So let's get into the title of the day. Cooke with Alligator for my generation. Yeah, I know. The titles get stranger and stranger as they go along. But to be honest, so this all has to do with finds that I found yesterday. Finally, like the first time I found anything in several weeks, if maybe even a month. So it wasn't. I did. There would have been more. Hey, Marcus, how you doing? There would have been more, but some of the condition on some of those records, oh my lord, it was just ridiculous. So for $1, and I know you're gonna go, well, whoop-de twang on this, and normally I wouldn't get reissues. And Marcus says, hey Brandon, the records are in. So I ended up getting this little thing. Yes, which originally came out in August 1962. So you got Bring It On Home to Me, Having a Party, You Send Me, Only 16. Everybody Loves to Cha-Cha-Cha. For Sentimental Reasons, Wonderful World, Summertime, Chain Gang, Cupid, Twisting the Night Away. It's Sad Mood. I'm telling you. Now this thing here, like I said, is a reish. So that's your label, right? And the condition on it was actually very pleasantly well. And for getting it for $1, you betcha. Chances are I'm probably going to give this to my son. He is a very huge Sam Cooke fan. That is for sure. I'll be packing your stuff over the weekend. So I thought, what the heck? I thought I'd go back a little bit. Did I have to clean up a lot in that last video, but it was worth it in the end. So I thought I would go back just for a little bit to Sam Cooke back when he was in gospel with the Soul Stirrers. Touch the hem of his garment. That was a little different. Soul Stirrers, of course, was the gospel group that he was in before he went solo. So see, Marcus has got, it's raining records for me this month. It's been, you know what? It's been a while since I got a nice size find, you know. I mean, I don't know about you guys and, wherever part of the country that you guys live in, and for the collectings, but there's a lot more um, competition in Northwest Arkansas for vinyl. I try to hit up all of the the thrift shops, the antique malls, all that kind of stuff on a regular basis. I would rather, of course, find them in a resale shop than an antique mall, but sometimes I can get half hard fine records at sort of reasonable prices. I wish kind of that he would drop his prices by about 20%, and then I think it would not be perfect, but it'd be close. But I mean, I know everybody's got to make money, especially if you're paying rent on a booth at an antique market. Oh man, oh man. So we got with the Cooke part, obviously. This poor Sam Cooke, I'm telling you, okay, one of the best voices of late, going back to that gospel Soul Stirrers, right, which was on Specialty. Um, and then he does the solo bits, you send me Cupid, all that stuff. And he keeps going, and then he goes, and goes to RCA, and change is going to come. That's the last thing that he did, and then he got how do I want to say this? Unlived. He got unlived. I personally think that it was not an accident. I really don't think it was an accident. Just a lot of weird stuff that went on with all of that. And to top that off, within a year, okay, I'm just saying this part's alleged, okay? So, they have the pallbearers, and Bobby Womack is one of the pallbearers for Sam Cooke's funeral. And within a year after the funeral, he would be married to Sam Cooke's wife. And then there's rumors going around that, well, because Sam wanted to have an independent distribution system, he wanted to change the way records were done and released and the product going out there. And certain higher ups were not in line with Sam's views. Well, don't you know? Hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Marcus, no problemo. Also look up RAL, New York City. He put out a brilliant video of the ELP album Tarkus. It's amazing. That sounds actually really cool. I have one of these days I haven't shown him in quite a while. I should show some of the signed albums. I've shown some that you guys have seen. Oh, dryer timer's done. But I do happen to have a couple signed ELP records from Carl Palmer. And Tarkus is one of them. Sorry about that. Who would have ever thought that a simple little question like, where's the girl, would have such dire... No kidding, right? That whole thing. And from what I heard is that what the girl did was her MO, her modus operandi. And he went after her, because usually this didn't work. But he went after her. Oh, boy. Zeb, how you doing all the way over in Europe? Cool, I like that channel. Lots of great stuff for RAL, New York City, NYC. Excellent. So the other thing is, with Alligator. Now, I thought this was fun. I haven't had a chance to listen to this yet, but we're talking about the Alligators Records 25th Anniversary Collection on CD. I love finding things like this. Only was $3.99. I couldn't screw this up. But if you think I'm going to try to read the list, this is so small, this tiny print. So, I'll show you the booklet though. I just love all this stuff. I love finding these box sets of all. Oh, look, I can go right to Alligator mail order in Chicago. I always knew it was a Chi-Town Blues label. What's it got? Oh, T-shirts. See, you could get T-shirts and hats and all that other fun stuff from P.O. Box 60234, Chicago, Illinois 60660. Yes, Alligator's still in business, by the way, too. Here, let me show you this thing. So, this is your booklet here in the front and the back. And wow. Okay, so this is a little bit better. But disc 1, you got Sun Seals, James Cotton, Albert Collins with Johnny Copeland, William Clark, Charlie Muscle White, Little Ed and the Blues Imperials. I saw them play way long time ago. Little Ed, C.J. Chenier, Morris John Vaughn, Floyd Dixon, Eddie Shaw, and the whole gang. Cephas and Wiggins, Kenny Nella, Long John Hunter, Sapphire, the uppity blues woman, Lonnie Mack with Stevie Ray Vaughan, Big Billy Boy Arnold, Tinsley Ellis, Sugar Blue. Saw Sugar Blue play once over at Porter's Oyster Bar in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And Professor Longhair for disc 1, disc 2, Coco Taylor, Lonnie Brooks, Steady Rollin', Bob Margolin, Little Charlie and the Nightcats, Luther Allison. I got to meet his son Bernard years ago. Katie Webster, Elvin Bishop, classic blues guy, going back all the way to Butterfield Blues Band. Kerry Bell, Lucky Peterson, Dale Hale, Corey Harris, Michael Hills, Blues Mob, Roy Buchanan with Delbert McClinton. That's got to be a good double bill. And then Roy Buchanan by himself. Johnny Hartzman, Johnny Winter, Hound Dog Taylor, Fenton Robinson, and closing it out with Clarence Gatewood Brown. You got a lot of small type. It's called Psycho would have to have his readers on. And even then I begin to wonder if I could even read that. But there's a lot of text on the 25th anniversary of that. That is for sure. So much here. It's like a mini novel. And I'm not complaining. Far from it. I love me some old blues. I got a buddy of mine in town here who's a huge blues aficionado. One of his favorites is Samantha Fish. He's seen her many, many times. Well, so anywho, let's play a track that I found called Give Me Back My Wig. Oh boy, this is to all the wig wearers out there, or wig moms, or wig something, ear wigs, or I'm so bad. That's horrible. Hound Dog Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Wig
They don't have no business. Honey, buy you no wig at all. Then my mama told me, and your good friend too, when you get that wig out the way, you is gonna do your dance. Give me back my wig. Honey, now let your head go, boy. They don't have no business. Honey, buy you no wig at all. Goodbye, little one. All I got to say, give me back my wig and be on your merry way. Another day, my friend. Give me back my wig. Honey, now let your head go, boy. Really have no business. Honey, buy you no wig at all. How about them apples? Or wigs in this case. Oh, boy. Anyways, little Johnny Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, wanting his wig back. Appreciate the 22 of you people in here. If you can, like I said on the little note I passed along, please like and sub, and if possible, donate. All the donos stay in the show. And thank you. Where does money go? For the eternal starting fluid of coffee, and to get cheap records and CDs so that we can have show material to talk about. It's always welcomed, and you don't have to donate. Obviously, it's just something that I present out there to the audience. You know, like I said, hopefully everybody's doing really well. I couldn't believe, like I said, getting that Sam Cooke for $1 though, you know. And there's this chain though with the $3.99 CDs. So we get to the part of Cooke with Alligator, right? So we got that for my generation. Well, that part will probably be way too easy. But I love the Who. I've been a Who fan. Oh my God. I'm probably going to tell you that I think the first album I think the first album I ever bought brand new from The Who was Who Are You? I did get it, and I was about 11 in 1978, just about getting ready to turn 11. And I remember hearing Who Are You all over the radio, depending on what station you happen to listen to. You'd either hear the Who the Hell Are You option or Who the Fuck Are You? One or the other. Well, I know a radio station that sometimes used to play late at night. They would play the F version, the F word version. Who. Yes, that is the Court of Owl's favorite band is the Who, and of course, go look for the infamous children's book from Dr. Seuss, Horton Hears the Who. I'm telling you, he that changed his life. That changed Horton's life for forever. That is a fact also. So let's see. But the Who, some people go off and say that the Who should have just stopped after Mooney died. which, what a way for Mooney to go, right? I mean, just, I don't really know what to say about it. And then to top that off, yeah, don't forget Doctor Who. I love old school Doctor Who. I do, I do, I do. My favorite Doctor will always be Fourth Doctor Tom Baker. But I remember in the 80s when when WTTW in Chicago would play the Doctor Who reruns. So we're talking early 80s, okay? That they played that for some reason that they didn't get anything sooner than John Pertwee. So Third Doctor. So I saw a lot of Third Doctor and Fourth Doctor, and then finally Peter Davidson. So Fifth Doctor, Third, Fourth, and Fifth is what I remember watching. Hey, Brandon, I think me and Ken might do some new episodes. Well, I hope so. That'd be nice. We'd like to know about that. Doctoring the TARDIS. Yeah, well, everybody knows what happens if you doctor the TARDIS. Oh, man. But yeah, so the Who, some people say that after Keith Moon died, that should have been the end, combined with, Cincinnati, December 1979, 11 people trampled on. I mean, that's just horrible no matter what. But, that was the way concerts were in the 60s and 70s, was festival seating. And I think that tragedy changed the way that concerts were made, pretty much starting in 1980. But I don't know. I'm glad in a way that Kenny Jones, I mean, he might not have been the right choice for the Who, but I like Face Dances, the whole album. Okay, like most of the album, excuse me. There's probably one clunker, but the rest of it I like, and even the clunker, I'll just let it sit. It's not necessarily a perfect album, far from it. Who's Next is, but I would say with Face Dances, I have to be in the mood to get up and just push it, past the one track. But I liked Face Dances a lot. I think I Like Nightmares should have been on the album itself and replace one of the weaker tracks. I think that would have made it a stronger album. And then I was 14 when that came out. I remember MTV with You Better You Bet, Don't Let Go of the Coat, Quiet One, Another Tricky Day, all in black and white, which I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And then we go from that to the next year, It's Hard, which I don't really like most of that album. I would say, and I know, I'm not trying to be a smart ass, strong EP for It's Hard. There would have been 4 great songs. That's how it should have came out. Festival seating or general admission is not a good thing. You're right. It's not. You better, you bet. And some of the radio stations back then would edit out the line, "She welcomes me with open arms and open legs," which my little corporate radio station, they play that version. I think that's funny. But this one never begs. Tyler, how are you doing? Good to see you here. To the sound of old T-Rex. And who's next? But then, of course, the story went that even though they were having their farewell tour in '82, and the ticket prices for back then were just, I know I didn't get to go. I wanted to. I asked if I could go because they came to Rosemont Horizon. That's where they went and played, over in Rosemont, Illinois, near O'Hare. But tickets were like snapped up like that. I said, that figures. I would have been a happy 15-year-old and probably deaf too while I was at it by the end of that one. But they were going to stop being a touring entity. And then even though they were all going to do their solo stuff, they tried plotting on with another album, that they wanted to start working early '83, which, they supposedly did consider getting Todd Rundgren to produce the next Who album. That never happened. I think they would have been possibly a great album. Jim, how are you? Back to St. Louis, cold and rainy in Chicago this morning. That figures. It's nice and sunny here. I don't know about St. Louis. Hopefully, it's nice and sunny in St. Louis. Meet me in St. Louis, Louis. I know I'm horrible. Okay. So, anyways, back to what I was talking about, though, which of course is the Who. I did not know anything about this comp. My generation, the very best of the Who. Here's the front, and here's the back. All right, you got yourself a good 20 tracks on here. Let me see if I can show some pictures on this. Oh, here we go. We got some discography. Oh, that's funny that picture there is shown, because that what I'm going to play you has that exact picture. Yeah, I know the Who dinged me for playing Let's See Action, but I don't care. I'll just go and I'll clean it up like I always do. Which Let's See Action is on here. And then here we go. Here's another nice shot. But basically what you've got, I can't explain anyway, anyhow, anywhere. My generation's substitute. I'm a boy. Boris the Spider. I always thought that was fun. Happy Jack. I love Happy Jack. That video, if you've never seen the video to Happy Jack, the Who put out, you have a good chuckle. Pictures of Lily. I Can See for Miles. Magic Bus. Pinball Wizard. The Seeker. Baba O'Reilly. Won't Get Fooled Again. The full-length version at 8.5 minutes. Let's See Action, which I brought up before, 5:15. Joined Together, another one of my favorites. Squeezebox, Who Are You, the single edit version, and You Better You Bet the full-length version is what you get compromised on this album. But the thing is, and I was talking about this with some musical friends, that the Who almost really for like, I don't know, probably from about 65 to 73 was some of their best stuff, really. Hang on, I'm so back behind the contents. That Keith Moon album is sure strange. I need to find that album. That's also going to be in a Jukebox from Hell down the line. You found a copy of Who's Last, huh? From '84. I have never come across that. And if I remember correctly, that was it was two shows, if I remember right. The one from Toronto, I think they used most of the Toronto Maple Leaf Garden from December '82, but they also used another show for a couple of cuts, if I remember right. I need to get that one eventually. Yep, hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, I'm just getting the start of a cold here, which kind of sucks. Every time I hear about a farewell tour, it makes me laugh. The number of bands who sold tickets at crazy prices because it was their final tour is criminal. They should just not have ever started any of that in the first place. Seriously. I need to get a comp of them. I don't have any of their albums. Where did you get that? I got that from a Game Exchange is what I did. But I would say, go look at if you got Game Exchanges or vintage stocks or anything like that. I would probably tell you truthfully that this is probably one of the better Who comps that you're going to get for 20 tracks. There's other ones out there, of course. The Who's Greatest Hits, which has the Union Jack coat, if you will, was my first greatest hits, which I can't remember when that came out. But I would rather suggest either getting the My Generation or the Who at 50, which would be another excellent comp, especially since most of them came out of retirement shortly thereafter. Yeah, you're Todd Rundgren and the Who. That would have been some major conflicts with Keith Moon. Well, this was in '83, so no Keith Moon at that point. But who knows? I mean, Todd loved the Who. I mean, let's face it, the Nas. There's lots of Who-like elements in those first two albums. I think maybe it would have worked, but who's to say? um, there's a couple demos on Scoop that the Pete Townsend demo albums. I think there's like 2 or 3 83 demos. So you maybe could have gotten a slight feel of what he was working on before they just packed it in. Look up John Farnham. Oh boy, yeah, from Little River Band and Solo Farewell Tour. He's done at least 5 of them. Oh my God. Yeed Marcus. Let's see. The Who, Motley Crue, Kiss, Scorpions. Yeah, I know. The Who should just stop. Truthfully, they should have stopped after the 89 tour, but whatever. I should have went to that one at Alpine Valley. I don't know why the hell I didn't do it. I missed a lot of good concerts in my day. And most of the time it's because I had a responsibility streak and I had to work. Couldn't just blow off things. That didn't sound right. Rolling Stones, another one, yes. Pictures of Lily, yes. Best Who album to get. Who's Next? Seriously, I would start out with Who's Next. They on CD. You get the added tracks. Okay, they were supposed to be on Lifehouse. There is a deluxe, but don't do that. Just get the Who's Next with I think it's like 4 or 5 bonus tracks, and you'll be content. I like that CD. I got a copy of that. Oh, and Ozzy. I saw him on the No More Tours tour, and of course, he made bunches of tours. I have Who's Last on cassette. I might have had it on cassette years later, but never on vinyl. I like cassettes too. And I guess I'm getting a cassette player from If It Worked. It's a Sanyo from my buddy Scott in Illinois. Can't wait to see that. Oh, there you go. I have the Ultimate Collection from 2002, 2 CD. That could be another example too. So there's several different Who comps you could go for, Jim. Thanks for the recommendations. I need to get some of their stuff in my collection. You betcha. Fred, how you doing, vinyl? Then again, an even better Who compilation is the 4 CD, 30 Years of Maximum. I remember that box. I do. Yeah, who's to say? Who knows? Whew. For a second there, I thought Paul was going to say he got that from John Kaczynski's Bargain Music Shack. I was going to suggest Paul not shake it. Oh, boy. I thought you meant during the 70s. Oh, no. The Who's discography is a total mess. You never know what you get. A remix to an original mix, a partly mix. I'm still confused over which. I can understand where you're going from on that one. The 3 Who albums everyone needs, besides a best of, is Leeds, Who's Next, and Quadrophenia. So you're talking 71 through 74-ish. You want the Lighthouse stuff, yeah, that big set. Hey, listen, thanks for coming by. Seriously, Jim. Well, we like to keep them coming. Like I said, I'm probably going to only be on for an hour here. But before I forget, one of the things I wanted to play from the Who, and yeah, I know I'm going to have to clean it up. They had a lot of singles, of course, a lot of killer singles, A and B side. So I thought I'd play most of this. Remember that picture I showed you in the CD booklet? Well, there it is. And this here is Heaven and Hell from 1970. You don't get at the end the wind chime. Moon touches the wind chime and goes off, and I'm like, yes.
They really excelled at that level of like just again like that jammy. They showed everybody how to jam their instruments. This is before Jimi Hendrix even. Like literally, like even the Beatles were so polished they couldn't really let loose. Like remember, Brian Epstein made them take off the leather jackets and the toilet seat around the neck, and all the stuff that they made them clean them up and stuff. But they couldn't even be as raw as they wanted, as great as like what came across on the studio, because they were raw players when you really think about it. It took George Martin to polish them.
Maybe he's playing in Rickenbach. I'm not a tech guy,
Maybe.
unfortunately.
It sounds a little Rickenbacker-y. It does.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? So you go backwards to the Detours in '62. Okay, this is how John Entwistle knew how to play the horn, the trumpet, the horn, all that other stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see this here a minute.
Look at this. This is a bootleg. Honestly, it's like, and like that's the way it came. Like it's just a folded over cover. I've never seen nothing like it. That's the back. No credits, no nothing. This is the label. It's just.
Yeah, most bootlegs were like that. Look at that. The letter B. That's the only hint you get. It's A and B.
And here's the songs that are on it. See if you can pick up the one that's very rare.
Oh. Baby, please don't do it. Isn't that Contours?
I'm not sure.
Don't even know myself as a great B-side again from another Who single. Don't Break My Heart. So please, baby, don't do it. Don't break my heart.
I'll tell you what, the real rarity is Bargain, because Bargain is one of the songs that they barely ever played live.
Was that the best?
So I love that song, man.
Oh man, the Isle of Wight. Yes, that's another great gig.
Because you always try to find that them playing Bargain live, and good luck. It's very hard.
I didn't know that. I'll be back in a minute.
Sure.
Ow. Oh.
Let's do a jam. I haven't done a jam on here in a while, like a real one.
I agree with this, Brandon. The Who Sell Out to me is more of a proper concept than Sgt. Pepper. Unfortunately, it gets overshadowed.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one. Okay, I know Pepper came out in June of '67. When did Who Sell Out come out? Does anybody give me an answer on that? Maybe in the comments.
I want to say October-ish around. I think it came after.
Oh man, I need to find a good mono copy of that. I've come across a couple stereos. The last time, well, wait a minute.
Hey, King James. What's up, King?
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry, I did come across a mono, but unfortunately, I remember why I didn't get it, because it was like through one side of the record. I'm like, who the hell did this? The whole side.
Wow.
Damn it.
I hate that. Having to one of my radio records, I was getting to put it on the record, and it just slipped out of my hand. I was so upset, because it's the radio record of the series, like each side is focused on a different band, had to be my Pink Floyd that got literally a scratch down the whole thing.
Jeez.
But, luckily when I play it, I cannot even hear it at all, and there's not one skip. It's just a visible scratch. But I played it twice now, and it hasn't skipped once, and I haven't heard. But it was just, I was so pissed. You try to be gentle with these things, and literally, no matter how hard you try, you still run into your own humanity, I guess.
Brandon says December '67, so yeah, I can understand.
I thought it was a little later than Peppers.
I can understand the overshadow part of it then, for sure.
Well, what it would have been if it would have been before Sgt. Pepper's. Then that would have been heralded as like the first kind of concept record. You know what I mean? Like that would have been, it wouldn't have escaped hearing about that,
They call him Mellow Yellow. Quite right, Slick.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, I love that song. I love Donovan.
With Paul McCartney.
Donovan, you know what?
Background.
He almost had a comeback in the 90s. I remember Rick Rubin wanted to do something with Donovan. because he looked and sounded like almost like he did in the 60s, still in the 90s.
Paul died on 67.
Yeah.
Well,
if it isn't William Campbell, we'll find out.
He blew his mind out in a car.
He really did.
Did you know that today is National Change Your Password Day? So everyone, let's see. God, I haven't done password.
No.
The password is login.
No, what pisses
and
me
not
off,
Kenny login.
You get these companies like my phone company, literally every 30 days, almost something, they're making me change my password. It's ridiculous. Like, and it can't be one that you used before. You got to come up with a whole new one you got to memorize. Like, really? So you just wind up doing different variations of the same word. Like tree, it'll be TREEEE,
or Fist of Love 69. Anyways, I was listening to that song Paul did with Steve Miller today. Pretty good stuff. Are you talking about My Dark Hour?
I didn't even hear that.
You didn't expect me to know that, did you, Chris? I'm such a nerd.
What?
My
Paul
Dark Hour.
McCartney did something with Steve Miller?
Yes, Paul plays drums on that track.
What?
It's like
really?
From 67
or
68.
I thought this was something new. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Well, hold on a minute, though. But see, now here's the thing. There was a reciprocation later. So on Paul's Flaming Pie, Steve Miller makes an appearance on that album. So
40 years later?
They've been friends. They've been, on and off friends.
What took you so long, Steve?
Oh, God. Hold on a minute. My new password is ketchup song. So help me God, but the ketchup song.
Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, do you happen to have your ketchup? No, I didn't bring no ketchup and mustard and mayo.
Literally, you're going to need a binder. You need a binder to write down all your passwords in.
I already kind of have that already.
Yeah, I know.
It's so stupid. I'm just like...
Same thing with your Bitcoin wallet. If you have a Bitcoin wallet, you have 12 words that you have to remember in succession that don't make up a sentence. And it's like run, cat, Vero, monastery.
Sugar. What the fuck is the booger sugar?
The booger sugar.
You're killing me. I don't know who you are, but you're killing me with the booger sugar.
The booger sugar.
That reminds me, of course, of...
That sounds like a band.
Johnny Fever.
It'd be like Rob Zombie and the Booger Sugar.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh man.
And the first album title can be You Pick 'Em.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Pick a good one.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
So I
just woke up a little while ago myself.
Did you?
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, still in wake up mode.
That's okay.
I work all night, so.
You work all night, huh?
Yeah, doing the eBay, watching the films.
I need to start
writing songs.
Yeah.
eBay is fun. I really love it. I love it.
No, I need to probably sell some of my rare records through
And
eBay.
what the best part about it is knowing. I mean, the God's honest truth, the best part about eBay for me is literally with all the stuff that I have here. I mean, I practically live in a museum. So people see stuff when I show them my videos or anything, and they'll contact me. And then I get to connect people with things that they really want or been looking for such a long time.
Raccoon Death Pact. I like that. I don't know why. I think Raccoon Death Pact opened for P.U. Pinchot back in '83, if I remember correctly. P.U. Pinchot will never die.
Is that right next to Stinky Pinky and the Smelly Jelly?
Yikes. Yeah, they tried suing them for that one because they said that was a song title of theirs, and somehow Stinky got away with it, and it's just like they're still mad.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
They've been around since 1969. Still putting out prog rock albums like you wouldn't believe.
They've been fighting with them flower people,
Exactly. I think the new one that's coming out later in the year, Down in the Hole, is going to be quite interesting. That's what I heard. And not to be confused with Alice in Chains' Down in the Hole.
Isn't the flip side called emerging?
Well, at least it beats Couples Toilet. Oh my God, from SNL.
Oh my God.
I'm still trying to figure out that film from the other day that it's not Cilla Black. Wait a minute, I thought it was.
No, I mean,
I
that's
thought
what,
it
you know
was.
what? No, somebody else said it. What I think Wyoming Dave. Brian said it was Cilla Black because I think she did a version of it. But the more
Yeah,
people look at the
that's it.
video and the film of it, they saying it isn't her. And I can't tell. You know, I'm really not an expert on Cilla, you know, as much as she was part of the Beatles, you know, lore and stuff.
That's who you need to show it to as a Beatles fan.
Yeah.
Have you shown that to Joe Mayo?
No, maybe that's who I should show it to.
Yeah, I think maybe show it to Mayo and see what he says.
But you would think with all the music people, especially even in our corner right here, you know, you would think somebody would have recognized.
Yeah. You guys ready for Helter Skelter 25-minute? Yeah, bring it on. Hopefully it's
What is that?
anthology.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Oh, well, you mean the 25-minute? Yeah. I would love to
bring it on.
The only thing to me I think anthology could really add, well, two things. If they redid, like, because they have the one song for each album now and then, but there was a fourth song, and it was Grow Old With Me. And Ringo even recorded it. But there's a way that they should resuscitate that, put Paul's voice in there. And it would be, brilliant. Kind of, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right there.
But they could get his kid. They could get his kid to go off and do some.
Yeah, but that's the same argument. They wouldn't get Julian either, you know? Like, they wouldn't get Julian. They're not going to get Donnie. But the other thing would be Carnival of Light. Finally, release that thing already. Let us hear it. We've been talking about it for 60 years now. Let's get the Carnival of Light going. They should make a video for a really fucking, you know, psychedelic video. I bet you it would be a hit no matter what, like people say, because they can't get enough.
The full video you made the other day. Smello, send me the full video you made the other day.
Yeah, I made the other day. All right, I will. Plus, I'm doing another one. I can't wait. I got a documentary coming up. Not even talking about the Rachel's Ghost one. I mean, I got my 40-year anniversary with my band, Silent Night. That's going to be incredible. 1985 to 2025. We're doing it, and it's going to have all the guys from around the country. They all split off into different parts of the world, and to have them come back for the 40th is really. And June 14th will be my 40th anniversary of playing a show live. That to me is a big day to me. First time I ever played a live show in front of anybody.
Excuse me. Are you going to try to, like, when the band comes back, are you guys going to try to make a new song or two?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. We are definitely doing that. We're not only that, but we're going to re-record our demo that we recorded in the Shiny Time Station back then. Yeah, I know. That would be right. And we're going to do adult versions of our demo. That's what we're going to call the adult versions. You know, because we actually we played a couple times, like in our 30th anniversary, we got together and we actually did some of those songs live. And we're like, man, they came out so good. We were like, we should record these, but we never got a chance to. Now it's the 40th anniversary. I think now's the time we should do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, before Lord forbid, you know?
Right.
Anyways, Brandon says, of course, congratulations on this.
Thank you, Thank you, brother.
So I've got one last video in the queue. Since I haven't shown this one in quite a while, maybe. This is a Beans moment. We're going to go do a Beans moment just for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes maybe. So I present to you and everybody else Saturday Night Nonsense Record Store Day and Other Record Stuff, Other Record Finds edition. This starts out in the middle. You barely get to see Ed from King's Court, but then it just goes to four guys that we all like. Right. I like Ed too, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. So
again, I'm surprised this long before it actually started. All right, guys, but I had fun.
All right, nice to meet you, Ed.
I'm glad.
Nice meeting you, Ed.
Ed, thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you, Ed, for dropping by.
Anytime, man.
Take care.
Is that for the ball washing?
Hey,
The
How
wig?
long ago is this?
Fred.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, the
I don't know. I
crate.
just thought I'd
Yeah,
play a
the
few
wooden
minutes of
crate.
it.
Oh, the crate? Yeah.
I know. How long ago was it?
Just paid $30 for
3
one.
years.
Oh, wow.
I get one tossed to
Hey,
me.
Tim, you
Here,
got
take
some
this.
That's Richard. You know, he doesn't know how to negotiate. It's all about commerce, and he doesn't believe in
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. Well, I spent way too much money to get it. And when I first came out, you guys were talking about the Cheap Trick album. My store had like
Good egg,
10
I love that.
copies of it.
Hey,
I wanted
Davey.
it really bad, but I already spent too much. I'm like, they'll be there. So I had a few things I let go today because he had at least 10 copies of the Petty album. So I let that go for now. He had a
10
bunch of
copies.
copies of Prince and the Tears for
That's a
Fears.
lot of
My
one
guy
Petty
usually doesn't
album.
get much. He
Yeah,
got
right.
a lot. So I'm pretty happy.
Excuse me.
But the
Coach
best
Jenny,
thing was the electric sitar album I found at the thrift store was the
yeah, I
best
was gonna
thing.
say
That looked
your best
interesting.
find was the thrift store find.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I was
Nothing
like,
wrong
what
with
the
that.
hell is this? And I got a
You ever come
comment on my
across anything
video
weird like
from
that?
Jenny, B-Sides. She's like, how did you know I just ordered that this week from Discogs?
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
wow, you know? Yeah.
You never know.
So, Tim Thrifty, since you're on here, before I forget to
No,
tell you,
I never did close that
well,
door.
I'll tell everybody else out in the studio audience here about this if you want to look into this. If you are a lover of 70s heart, okay, so the lineup of the 70s of heart, there is a band that is called Heart by Heart, which has, I cannot remember if it's
They're
either
still
2
around,
or
too.
3 original members.
All right.
In other words,
Two.
everybody but the Wilson sisters
That's
are
right.
going out
Wow.
and doing, and doing a
I never even
tour.
heard of that.
And
Yeah, it's
believe
pretty
it or
much,
not,
I think, West Coast
they are
only
coming
now.
to Tim's neck of
Wow.
woods over in Delavan, Wisconsin, at the Belfry Theater. Now, the Belfry Theater, I know you guys aren't going to know what I'm talking about. Tim probably would, because when you probably go to Goodwill, Tim, in Delavan, you probably go. The Belfry Theater is a very small theater. I mean, I don't even know if this thing
Yeah, I'm
can hold more
surprised
than
they
100 people.
Played that.
And yet they're showing up for 2 nights
Paul
in
Revere and the Raiders did the
Delavan,
same thing. It was some of
Wisconsin,
them,
to
or should I say
perform.
Paul Revere's
The
Raiders?
last concert that
Right.
they
He was
had
dead by then.
is Paul Revere's Raiders
Yeah.
performed at the Belfry before the COVID spiel happened. And I'm just sitting there going, what? So, yeah, Heart by Heart, they are touring at least in a handful of states. So go check out their website. And then, Tim, this is also going to be specifically for your area. You know where Mary's Place is, right? The bar in Rockford?
Someday I'm going to
I
get
think it's
out there
Rockford or Loves Park.
to Mary's
Yeah, I'm
place.
not really sure where Mary's place is.
Okay. Bonnie Carlos has announced that the Monday Night Band, because
His
believe it or
own
not, this
band.
is what Bunny does now. He pretty much
Yeah, I
lives in
know
the
that.
area still, and on 1 to 2 Monday nights a month, he
Yep.
would go to this bar, Mary's Place, and he would perform with his
Near
band.
downtown
Usually
Rockford.
it's like a loose jam band or shit. Once in a while, speaking of John Brandt, because he lives near him, I'm told,
Nice.
John Brandt would come and they would jam. So you'd have half of the 80s trick,
Yep.
along with whoever the hell else wanted to come in. So yeah, he announced that he's returning. I want to say it is the last Monday in June. That'll be his first show back in a year and a half. And then
Anyways, that's okay. Just
Now,
to put some beans out there for a couple minutes.
Do you watch any of those? Like, you go back and scan the shows to find the spots that, like, where
Yes.
he is and stuff? Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because so many things happen. You'd have to watch every single show to know, like, exact, like, moments of things that, like, are significant or,
Right.
you know, that kind of stuff, you know, to make
Well,
it, like,
I just
that.
go and I put them in double time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
the
to
easy
get
way
to
to
the
scan
point.
them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's a shame that, to even think that you have a running count number of people that, been through the show that aren't here no more.
Yeah, I miss
Hard
a
to
bunch
believe
of them
that.
too.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it because you know what? Time flies. Here today, gone tomorrow. I mean, there's the God's honest truth.
You want to come up, Dave? I put out the link in a couple comments ago.
Davey.
Probably gonna wind this down soon anyway, though, because like I said,
gotcha.
I'm just kind of like, but I did promise I was going to do one, but I didn't expect to wake up feeling
right.
But it is what
yeah,
it
I
is.
just woke up, I turned on, and there you were. I was like, let me say hello.
And thank you for that too. But
did you ever go check out that site that I sent you?
Which
I sent you a link in the Sora.
I know
for the pictures and stuff.
Oh no! I've got so many things.
Right.
I've got so much stuff.
I'm telling you, would love it because you always laugh at the ones that I send you.
Yeah.
They're hysterical. They're like the modern day wacky package stickers. Really, it's
oh my god,
remember those
wacky
things?
package! Oh my god, I
love those things.
Then.
Oh my god, I have a whole collection somewhere. I mean, literally, I got the whole sets.
That was our generation of Cabbage Patch, Garbage Pail Kid cards, which were really big back in the 80s. Dusty says, I have so much footage of Beans. Someday I'll make it. That'd be nice.
Wow.
Well, you were blocked by Richard at Tokyo. Why?
Really?
I don't know why. I can't see Brian blocking anybody, but whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll go check something out here in a little bit. I think I got this coupon that it's like buy two get one free at Vintage Stock. Maybe I'll go find something.
Even if really?
They'll have dollar records sometimes, and I'll be like, ooh, maybe I'll hit upon something. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
But
they closed up all the flea markets and stuff around here, which
sucks.
is a shame. Like you have to go far now to go to a flea market.
Ew.
And it used to be right in the next. It used to be right in the next town, and then there used to be another one in the town over that, and another one a couple towns up. Now they're all gone, and it's terrible.
Yeah, very much. Anyways, I think we're going to wrap this up here today. We did about an hour and 20 minutes, and that's good.
Beautiful.
Hopefully everybody will have themselves a good weekend. I think we will try, barring anything stupid, to go off and do a show maybe Tuesday again, unless for some miraculousness and I feel okay, that I will maybe do one over the weekend. You pull a
surpriser every once in a while.
Yeah, I just never know.
I like those myself. They're fun.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get that many people today, considering that it was afternoon, but there was a reason why I had to do it early. So, but I want everybody
to have the replays.
I want everybody to have themselves a great weekend coming up here. Okay, always powered by coffee each and every time. That's right, just like the dating game and this fact. Psycho's Platters is a Love Peace production.